So I'm about to announce that this Mayor Shirley Grover Bryant. So those of you that are on my Facebook page, so if you've seen my Facebook post, I always post my lovely wife, and a lot of you know her by Cindy Lou. Well, the only time I ever call her Cindy Lou is on Facebook. And Shirley made sure that she let me know that she thought that that was nice that I did that, and she made me feel special about it. So in honor of my Cindy Lou, I went ahead and I put my Shirley Ruth, and she is now my Shirley Ruth on Facebook, and I got her and Mayor posting on my Facebook page. So we did that. So I just want to say thank you for saying that. So Shirley and I have we've known each other for many, many years. I've watched her children grow up. Her ex-husband worked with us at the Ford Place with Troy and I for many, many years. And so she was next door neighbors to my son-in-law. So we have a great connection, and it's so nice to see what you've done for our community. She's been a elected official for over 30 years, including 11 years as city commissioner, and she's in her third term as mayor of City of Palmetto. So I introduce to you now my Shirley Ruth.
Ernie, what did you call Mayor Poston on Facebook?
I haven't gone that far yet.
Oh, okay. I was just curious.
He was nice to you because you brought a bodyguard.
Oh, okay. First, I want to thank Mayor Poston because he did give me a 3-hour pass to Bradenton for today. Secondly, I would really like to ask all my city team. I always like to refer to them as our commissioners. We didn't round any of them up to come today, but I'd like for all my city team to stand up because the projects that we do in Palmetto are largely in part to our city team. You know, one person doesn't do everything. And I'd like to ask all of them to stand up and for a round of applause. And also, Penny is our administrative assistant at City Hall, and today she's going to serve as Vanna White and help me on some of the posters so we can share those with you. And just because I want to embarrass my son Patrick Bryant's here with us today too. I'll have to pay for that later. Really, I want to cut to the chase about Palmetto. Our mission statement is, and our number one priority is, to provide for the health, safety, and welfare of our residents and businesses. And that's a very broad statement, and you can read a lot into it, and we try to cover all those areas. So along those lines, you've seen a lot of the redevelopment and revitalization in the community and in our redevelopment district in the city of Palmetto. First, I want to talk about a hotel that many of you have read about in the paper. Palmetto and Palmetto's CRA has been very instrumental in creating a partnership so that will happen. And so there's some incentives, and if anybody wants to know more about that, we'll have a question and answer period that we can share more information about that. But what we have here is a basic, this is a preliminary that we've gotten, we wanted to share with y'all today, what the hotel is going to look like. There's another one. Vanna, would you hold up the other one similar to that? So that you can really see where it's going to be. It'll be a 250-room Sheraton hotel, concierge. They'll have shuttles to other businesses, golf courses, that sort of thing in the community. They'll have restaurants. They'll have a public entertainment area within that facility. So it should be bringing a lot of business and a lot of different growth and jobs to the entire community. One of the things that's going to happen with that also is the turning on the light at 7th Street. So that's going to create some challenges for the city of Palmetto in the sense of the already congested area along that corridor. So we'll be discussing those things and working with the different agencies, FDOT and Manatee County as well. Currently, I just want to mention some of the major events that are occurring in the city of Palmetto, and in large part due to a lot of the different changes that we've made and the different programs and the redevelopment. But of course, the Manatee County, they celebrated their 100th fair a year ago, so they're now on their 101st year. Their attendance for 2017 was nothing to sneeze at. 182,000 people visited the Manatee County Fair. I don't really think that people realize what a gem that is for us. That property doesn't just house the fair during those 10, 11 days. Through the rest of the year, there's dog shows, horse shows, different types of rodeos. All sorts of things take place there. From the information that I've received, I believe it's 46 out of 52 weekends, that facility is booked for one thing or another. And a lot of that, people come in with the dog shows. They camp there. They use the local restaurants. They use our service stations. So it's a great benefit to the city of Palmetto for that to be held there. A lot of times people don't realize how much Mayor Poston and I actually work together on different projects. The most recent one is the regatta, and it was very successful this year. I don't know that we've gotten all the tally on that, but we recently conceptually approved it and we wanted to do it early on to allow the promoter for that to have an opportunity to go out and promote the event and make it as special as they can. One of the things I know everybody was really enjoyed was the Clydesdales, and so I'm trying to make Mike Fetchko commit that he will have the Clydesdale there again next year, but he has promised that he'll have something at least of that caliber. So. The other thing that occurs in the city of Palmetto is the Children's Parade, the Hernando de Soto Seafood Festival. July 4th, we're going to be celebrating, of course, at July 4th. Our CRA will present the main act this year. It's going to be the Oak Ridge Boys. Now, if you're saying, who are the Oak Ridge Boys? I'm not going to sing, but Elvira. Everybody knows Elvira. You'll be glad I didn't sing. You're the One, American Made, and Sail Away. So I know Ernie's probably going to be there because I think he's a romantic. I take that as a compliment for you. The Veterans Parade, November 11th, is really near and dear to my heart. I like to celebrate and shine a light on all our veterans and what they've done for us and helping to keep us free. And also the Multicultural Festival that is in January. I want to just touch on some of the projects that we've completed. The Martin Luther King Jr. Park, the new gateway sign at the entrance to Palmetto, the completed boat ramp, major renovations there, completed Riverside East and West. We put in a living shoreline. We have included in the first phase with the LID pavers for stormwater, historical lighting, multimodal corridor for bicyclists, pedestrians, and transit users, and incorporating landscape. And what you'll see, those components an awful lot in years to come because that incorporates what the Florida Department of Transportation, one of their goals is to have what they call green streets, providing those components so that there's safe transit for the pedestrians, the bicyclists, and also the motorists, and keep everybody, so to speak, in their own lane. One of the things we kind of stepped up the game a little bit there, because our total mission is health, safety, and welfare. That takes in a lot of those components. But we added stormwater pavers. We brought in our partners, Southwest Florida Water Management District, because that helps to not only provide of course, the aesthetics, but also to continually improve the stormwater. Because water in Palmetto tends to run to the south and run into the river, eventually draining into the river. We want to make sure and look out for our waterways for years to come. We completed Ward 1 Phase 2 infrastructure. Haven Boulevard Roundabout, we completed Ward 1 Phase 2 infrastructure. And our Fifth Street streetscape project, and Penny's going to be putting that up. Now, the buildings are not the real issue here. The real issue is the fact that it is the first green street in Manatee County, and we're speculating even in the state of Florida. What that means is it's a low-impact design project. We've converted the impervious surfaces to pervious, and we utilize techniques again to improve the stormwater quality. The subject of the Tampa Bay Regional Planning Council Award, and you'll see that. I didn't take those off because I'm still proud of them, because these projects had been worked on in the past, but we did receive awards for those because of the different things that were brought into that whole product, that finished product. One of the things you'll find wherever we can possibly incorporate them, we also get grants for this, but is to have cameras for safety. And again, health, safety, and welfare, that's our mission. One of the things that, if you would show, Penny, would you show the Riverside East and West? You can see in this the components that FDOT has. They always encourage those for the complete streets. This is part of the multimodal. This has just been completed towards the end of 2016. You see the landscaping, the pavers, the area for the pedestrians, the transit users. It helps to alleviate traffic congestion in that area with the pull-off cutouts so that the buses can actually pull out of the right-of-way and get over to the side for their bus riders to load and unload. There's one going north and there's one coming south. So we're pretty proud of that, as you can imagine. This is a night view that we just wanted to share with you because we're pretty proud of that. It takes not only our CRA and also the Florida Department of Transportation and their funding of that project or parts of that project, but this improves our corridor. That's one of our goals, is to continually improve our corridors, and so that people, as they're coming into the city, they know what Palmetto really is about, and they'll want to come back and want to continue visiting with us. Now the other one. And this may be hard for you to see where you are, but that's a pretty nice picture. It's a pretty nice view. And whatever you can say positive about it, I'd ask you, what do you think you don't see that the city is working on really, really hard? We're working on an over 10-year-old mission to improve our wastewater treatment system. Again, health, safety, and welfare. You don't really think about that, out of sight, out of mind. I told Charles Clapsaddle before, I said I was going to talk dirty. I'm going to talk about the wastewater treatment plant. You don't even think about that sort of thing unless there's a crisis. And you're seeing infrastructure failures across the United States where raw sewage is going into the different water areas and going out. And, eventually that takes its toll. Our Public Works Department had sent me a video not too long about an area that all the homes in that area happened to be right on the water. And they all had septic tanks. Ultimately, it destroyed that whole lagoon. It was destroyed. There were beautiful pictures of it prior, and years later, as they do sampling there, I don't know how or if they will ever bring that back. So, we are taking that very seriously because we want to help and do our part to make sure that the water and the waterways and everything that we appreciate and have grown up here with stay for years to come and for our kids and grandkids. So along those lines, 33% of Palmetto's sewer lines have been refurbished. Through different efforts that we've taken at the wastewater treatment plant, Veolia manages that for us. They're our partner on that. We process the same level of 1.6 million gallons of daily flow, the same level from 1961 when we had 3,300 population to 15,000 people today. Now that tells you that there has been increased efforts to try and make that difference. Since we have refurbished the 33% of the city's lines, we have experienced a tremendous reduction in inflow and infiltration, thus holding the lines on chemicals for treatment and efficiency of the facility, and of course, those many, many dollar signs in chemicals. 68% of Palmetto customers have reuse available. Our goal is 100%. Saving millions of gallons of potable water, our goal is to eliminate any discharge to the bay, health, safety, and welfare. The challenge became keeping a steady amount of reuse water available in rainy season. Nobody wanted reuse, but the flow to the plant stayed steady. What do you do with the excess? Discharge to the bay? Not the option that we wanted. In the dry season, everybody wanted the reuse, which caused shortages and complaints, but the solution was to design and build an aquifer recovery system, thus storing the water in the wet times and recovering it for distribution in the dry season. According to the American Society of Civil Engineers report card for America's drinking water, they have a D. America has a D. Florida has a C+. America's wastewater report card, a D+. Florida is a C. I would tell you from the data that we've recovered, there's 3,700 wastewater facilities in the state of Florida. 1/3 of the population is still served by on-site sewage treatment, disposal, septic tanks. What we are in the process of, like I said, it's a 10-year-old project for an injection well aquifer recovery system so that eventually we can take that water out of the bay. The city has invested $1.9 million with matching funds of $1.4 million from SwiftMud over the last 5 years. We've been going through testing on the injection well. It's a tremendous process. No stone is unturned. They make every effort to make sure that everything is safe, and when the water is eventually drawn back up to send out into the community through the reuse lines, that everything is safe and appropriate. So we are awaiting, they have our permit in, and we are awaiting that approval so that we can have that first draw up and then balance those water needs and those water excesses. But we're very, very hopeful that by the end of the year that we will have that permit. And of course, we'll be celebrating that because that's one more step in our goal for health, safety, and welfare. For the next 4 years, our continued efforts as far as crime prevention and reduction, community policing, our Habitat for Humanity projects. I see Dee Dee back in the back. The Brush for Kindness program, we want to do some more things along those natures. The Riverside Drive project that was just completed, that's going to be continuing all the way down 10th Avenue to 17th Street. And so for the next 4 years, we're going to be planning for the multimodal project, Complete Streets. And in 2021, that project will come to fruition. So we'll again be celebrating that. We're going to be hot and heavy working on that project. We're going to be continually planning to assemble the different components of our trail in the city of Palmetto. Ultimately, we want to tie into more regional and into the Sun Trail system. So those, again, are goals of ours. We'd like to have a gateway sign from the north. That's on our agenda. Continual review and revision of our CRA incentives reflecting community needs. And in our efforts to bring more jobs and vibrancy to the city of Palmetto and to the surrounding areas, we'll continue on Phase 3, renovation of Sutton Park, and Phase 4, recreational enhancement of Sutton Park. I know we're going to have a question and answer period, and I look forward to that, but I'm afraid Ernie's going to get a hook, so I'm going to kind of wrap it up. I just want to say thank you for allowing me to speak here today. And I close all of my speaking that I do. I always close it with, please remember to shop local. Support your local community. It's important to us. Thank you. God bless.
Well, thank you, Shirley Ruth. I'm wondering, my wife is going to be saying, well, okay, what is that all about? So our next guest, of course, needs no introduction, Mayor Wayne Poston. He's held the office of the City of Bradenton Mayor since 2000. I think he believes it's the 5th term. Before entering into the public service, Mayor Poston served in the U.S. Air Force and had a long career in journalism. And I've been pleasured to know Mayor Poston for, golly, over 40 years, I guess it's going on. And if you did not know this, he was with the Bradenton Herald for 28 years before he got into public office. And we did a lot of advertising with him back in the day. So our good friend, Mayor Wayne Poston.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for inviting us, Shirley and I, to come and talk about things that are going on in the two cities. And as she said, we're friends and classmates and work together and do lots of things. So just give you some updates on what's happening in the city of Bradenton. If you've been downtown recently, you know there's a 9-story hotel under construction right across from City Hall. 120 rooms in that, and there'll be suites because we like the hotel that's really family oriented, and the suites our rooms are a little bigger, so it lets families that we know we attract in the city of Bradenton. In conjunction with that, we'll be building a parking garage in the City Hall parking lot. We're in the process of figuring out whether that's going to run along 3rd or it's going to run along Old Main. We've got all of our partners and our project directors working on that one. We will provide 100 parking spaces for the hotel, but we also need parking downtown. We've got so many more people coming downtown these days. South Florida Museum's doing a $12 million renovation. We're sure that we'll need some additional parking for that. Just lots of things going on. Parking is an issue. But parking is always an issue. When you go to your gym, you'll notice people are driving around trying to park up close to the front door so they don't have to walk very far when they work out. We know that happens. We have 1,700 parking spaces in the city of Bradenton today, but people are still needing more. That hotel we're looking forward to is 9 stories. It'll have a full-service restaurant. It's a Marriott product, and we'll have a rooftop bar. You'll be able to see Skyway Bridge from there, and you'll be able to overlook Palmetto from there as well. Shirley talked about the Riverwalk Regatta. And the first year we brought that to town, those people came from Pittsburgh. We met those people in Pittsburgh because we have City of Bradenton has a formal alliance with the City of Pittsburgh. The mayor, we signed that. I went up there. We signed it in the mayor's office. He came down here. He signed the alliance in our mayor's office. He spent 2 weeks here and talking to chamber folks and moving around. And I spent 2 weeks in Pittsburgh doing the same up there. So we have a formal alliance. We go back every year. County administrator, Tourist Development Council, myself, other folks, and we meet with our counterparts in the city of Pittsburgh. One of the things when we signed the 30-year contract with the Pirates back in 2004, the Pirates agreed that they would spend $400,000 a year promoting Bradenton in the greater Pittsburgh area. So that branding has really been helping us. As a matter of fact, McKechnie Field is now LECOM Field. LECOM, that's Lake Erie College of Medicine. It's in Pennsylvania. They're at Lakewood Ranch here. The 2 campuses they're the largest medical school in the country. But everything that LECOM does, it's LECOM of Bradenton. We like that brand. It fits into our branding that we're doing for both the Economic Development Council and Tourist Development Council. And I was over in Cleveland Clinic on the east coast of Florida, get my annual physical over there. I'm talking to a young Indian doctor. And she says, if I have to send pharmacy to you, where do I send it? So I gave her the address on Manatee Avenue and 43rd, and I said, in Bradenton. And she said, oh, LECOM. So the branding is really jumping up there and working for us, so we're happy about that. We do the Riverwalk Regatta. We did about 80,000 people the first year. Got rained out the second year, but we came back last year with a lot more events in Palmetto. We spread the crowd out. We had at least the same number as we did the first year, maybe a little more. And we look forward to getting the regatta back on track. Palmetto's already approved it for this year. Tourist Development Council has approved it. We will approve it next Wednesday. Bradenton Blues Festival brings about 4,000 people to Bradenton every year in December. A year ago, we were the best blues festival in the United States. There's an international blues board of directors, and they meet 4 times a year. Last year, they met 2 times in Bradenton and 2 times in Memphis. So to be on the map with blues along with Memphis is a pretty good thing for us. We've had them down here. We had a great turnout with them. There's a Nashville city councilman it also works in music in Nashville. He and I got a picture taken because I had a George Thorogood t-shirt on. So the woman who's a physician from Phoenix took a picture of it. She knew George Thorogood. She sent it to him. He put it on his website. 255,000 looks. So promoting Bradenton every way we can. In addition to the hotel, Twin Dolphin Marina expansion, about $5 million there. What we're looking for are some larger boat slips. That's the goal. We're looking at 10 slips for 100-foot boats. So that would be a game changer for downtown Bradenton. We have a streetscaping project we talked a little bit about between 10th and 13th Street along Old Main. We've sort of worn out downtown. We've worn out the brick pavers. We've got sort of makeshift tree lights that need cleaned up, and our sidewalks aren't really wide enough. So we're undertaking that project. We put together a group of people who live and work in downtown to help us think through that project and how we might get that done. So we'll have a lot of things going on downtown: the hotel, a parking garage, a streetscape project, and so get ready to get busy downtown, and there's going to be a lot of people down there. We're working on a noise ordinance. Palmetto's doing it, county's doing it, we're doing it. It's a lot of noise from the noise ordinance conversations. So we'll get something figured out there, but we think it's working pretty well. We also have, for the first time in many, many years, a new corporate headquarters in downtown Bradenton. Sun's Insurance is downtown now. It took over a bank building. They're doing a major renovation of that building. They are excited and fired up about being in Bradenton. Got some incentives both from the county and from the city, the Economic Development Council. They are way ahead on adding jobs, and they're very good paying jobs. They've already got 100 people working there. They think we'll get another 100 in the next 6 to 12 months probably, because they're moving much more quickly than they think they can, and they're ahead of all their goals. And they're really going to be a good corporate citizen. We're excited about working with them, and they want to do more investment in downtown Bradenton, and they're excited to do that. Our Realize Bradenton projects continue to flourish. There's a new entrance to the Village of the Arts, so it's actually on the street, so you can see how to get in there. We've got new mural on the parking garage. If you haven't seen it, it's really terrific. And just down the street from that, there's a tribute to Herbie Rose from the Village of the Arts on the City Fitness building. Herbie's a terrific person. Thank you. He's not doing well. His Alzheimer's is very, very serious, and we're going to miss him. Herbie was instrumental in helping us get the Village of the Arts working, and we brought him to a council meeting, and he was designated the unofficial mayor of the Village of the Arts. So Herbie and Graciela are just great people. We love working with them. We have 3 new restaurants scheduled for downtown to go along with Madison's City Grill, who went over where the Yahtzee Grill was, and Caddy's has taken the Tarpon Point place, and so they're out there working. As Shirley talked about, we're working with FDOT on a $500,000 pedestrian safety project in downtown Bradenton, and also a conjunction on how we're going to handle the traffic coming over the bridge going not just north and south, but how do we do that east and west? Because at the same time, Palmetto's having the problem with cars trying to get across the bridge. Getting to downtown Bradenton on Manatee Avenue is also difficult. We have traffic backed up past 26th Street 2 different times of the day. And part of that problem has to do with only 30% of the kids who ride to school, eligible to ride the school bus, actually ride it. Parents drive their kids to school, and it's very, very difficult to deal with that. I can sit in my office and watch the bridge and see how it's backed up. The day school gets out, it's smooth. So that's a difficult issue, and I'm not sure how I don't think we can govern our way out of that issue. But we can at least have conversations and have people understand that sort of thing. Anyway, we've got lots of good things going on. I can talk all day about Bradenton and what we're doing, but let me do one thing. This city's logo we designed when I came in office as mayor, and it's sunglasses because our future is so bright we need shades to see it. And they're round and orange because of Tropicana. And then there's the city of Bradenton and the bridge that really goes to Anne Maria Island, because most people come to Anne Maria and then they discover Bradenton and Palmetto. It's getting so crowded out there, we're now having lots of people living here. And we did the Friendly City, because that's retro from the 1930s. That's what Bradenton was called back in the 1930s. And we did Bradenton, of course, and we did it in lowercase, because we knew if they did it in Sarasota, it'd be uppercase. I don't always tell that story. But anyway, thank you so much. Shirley and I think we're going to take some questions. Yeah.
Mayor Bryant, if you could come up, and we'd like to open it up for questions for everyone. We have a question right here.
My question is about building height, and I would like for each of you to talk about the maximum building height that you allow in your cities, how well that's working, and what you see in the next 10 years as far as building height. Is it going to stay the same, or do you think you need more?
We have form-based codes. Under form-based codes, there are different designations. There are different designations for different areas in the city. Downtown, for example, we're going 9 stories on a hotel. It could go to 14. I don't think those building heights are going to change over time. That's plenty of height, and we like height and we like density, and it makes sense, particularly in an urban area and an urban core. But in our downtown area, we can go pretty tall.
Mayor Bryant?
Actually, in Palmetto, it's going to kind of vary as far as the district, the area. We are in the process of reviewing a lot of that, so there may be some changes, I think, but there will still be a difference, a distinction, no matter once we go through our revisions. But we have had proposals on different things already that have really kind of a shot across the bow, so to speak, that there is a need for us to address that exact issue. So where it's going to go, I think it will go up some. I don't think it will go up tremendously, especially in the downtown corridor. But I think, what is the highest story at Riviera Dunes? 7? 7.
Right here.
Actually, I don't have a question. My name is Kim Bailey. I'm with Feeding Empty Little Tummies. We're the backpack program that feeds all the children in Manatee County. But I'm also on the North River Relay for Life Committee. And I want to commend the mayor and her team on the work that they've done at Sutton Park. If you have never been to an event at Sutton Park, they have done an impeccable job in preparing that for all kinds of activities. And we are proud to say that this Saturday we will have our Relay for Life. So if we have any cancer survivors in the room, or if you want to come just to support those that are fighting the fight against cancer, I welcome you all. It's a lovely day. It's a family event. My grandkids have been wearing purple tutus with me for 4 years. You relay every year, and I just want to commend you on that. Park is breathtaking.
Thank you
Absolutely
very much. And I have to take credit on behalf of my team, because it takes all of us. Thank you, though, Kim.
What is the mayor? Isn't there some music on the Riverwalk going on this Friday? Didn't you start that? I'm just actually trying to think of my plans for tomorrow night. I'm trying to the band playing on the Riverwalk tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll be in the smaller amphitheater when you have music every month out there, and we're trying to really utilize the Riverwalk. We have a new plan this year that we have to take care of the Riverwalk because we're going to wear it out. We close the Mosaic Amphitheater place once for a whole month to let that thing rejuvenate and come on because we have so many people down there. We're developing now a strategic plan. We find places where people walk through all the plantings and the flowers, and they do it consistently, so we might as well put a sidewalk in there and try to fight it. So that's the kind of thinking we're trying to do on that. I'll tell you one thing about the Riverwalk that I'm very, very proud of. The Urban Land Institute named 10 places in the world that connected the urban realm to a previously unconnected waterway. Bradenton was in that group of 10 from places all across the world. They were from China, Japan, one in Norway, Chicago, Bradenton. We were very pleased to be in that plan. Great stuff.
If I could tag on.
I just wanted to thank both of you mayors, because for those of us that have lived here a long time, Palmetto, it's like a whole other city. Just in the last 5 years that you've gone in, I've loved what you've done on your streetscaping, and then Bradenton Sarasota to rollerblade, probably Wayne, you like did with us, but because there was nothing there, so we would go there because there was hills, it was mountains in those days. In Bradenton, it hasn't really, over the years, it wasn't the place to go, and now everything is so lively down in Main Street in Bradenton. Palmetto is looking beautiful.
Thank you.
I want to commend both of you because as a former mayor, it's hard to do, and you guys are wonderful. You've done a good job, and you're a great team. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good job.
I just want to add something, that was brought up. I believe Mayor Poston brought it up about connectivity and so forth, and a lot of the different things that we do together. I don't know that the message came across that this year, this fiscal year, that they are to begin the connection between having a trail in Bradenton. They're going to be bringing that across the Green Bridge to connect into what has been just completed on Palmetto's side. So there's more connectivity so that somebody can really be on the Riverwalk and come over the bridge and then enjoy what's at Palmetto all as a pedestrian and so forth. So, and then ultimately in 2021, that whole trail system is going to go down 10th Avenue and then hook back up and even be a connector to Emerson Point. So all of that is growing, and it's growing together with that connectivity. So we are working together on a lot of different projects, that being another one.
Great. Have a question in the back?
Yes, I was wondering, since we have been growing at leaps and bounds, what's being done to attract and retain talent as far as housing in both of those areas, so that we keep talent? If we're getting corporate centers and more corporate presence, can you talk a little bit about that as far as giving people affordable places to live and work and remain in both Palmetto and Bradenton?
So just to repeat the question, she's asking about retaining talent in the community and what we can do for affordable housing to keep that talent in the community. So Mayor Poston?
In East Bradenton, almost the downtown area, we have 520 rental apartments under construction right now. On 14th Street, NDC has elderly affordable housing project going up there. We're talking more and more about how to get affordable housing done. The issue is what is affordable. And that's what the government has trouble getting their heads around. Millennials tell us it's one number. They pretty much agree with the elderly or the baby boomer group. They pretty much agree, but it's all that whole middle piece in between that we can't really figure out what's affordable. We know that rental is a big deal. We know that our rental properties are more expensive than, say, St. Petersburg, because I know we have a lot of people who work in Bradenton but live in St. Pete because they can rent an apartment or a home less expensively than we can here. Manatee and Sarasota has always had a problem in having affordable housing for everybody. Our housing costs are very expensive, Sarasota and Manatee. So something we're working on. The county commission is trying to address that as well. I'm sure Palmetto is, and certainly Bradenton is.
I can't tell you how many meetings I've had with different entities that they're trying to help bring some projects to the forefront. We do have one that's on the drawing board. I'm not sure which way it's going to go at this point in time, but we have some others that are on drawing boards that have been really a cursory review for us, just to see where the city feels that direction and so forth. But it's a tremendous need. We try to address it whenever possible. And of course, in Palmetto, on certain types of businesses and entities such as that, we can help them a lot through our CRA. But still, you have limitations. But we've had several different projects cross my desk that we're hoping will come to fruition. So we'll just have to we'll keep you posted as those things happen. But I do think the hotel is going to make a big difference when it comes into Palmetto because it's going to necessitate some other projects around that. And we've already heard some rumors. So usually those things do come to fruition because what do they say? If you grow it, if you build it, they'll come. And I think that's going to be a component of that. That's just going to necessitate it.
We have time for a couple more questions.
Let me
Any
answer.
other
Let me
questions?
finish off with one thing that we have is a problem in Florida with affordable housing. We have the Sadowski Affordable Housing Fund at the state level. The legislature, again, has taken that away and taken it for other projects. And they have consistently done that over time. They've cut it again by more than 2/3. So boy, if you ever talk to legislators about anything, that affordable housing fund is something that's critically important and keeps getting robbed for other kinds of projects.
Any other questions? Right here?
Mayor Bryant, thank you for being here. The hotel project there at the convention center is an exciting project. Can you talk at all about traffic mitigation? Because it's such a bad traffic area to start with. What's the plan for improving that?
I'm glad you got that one.
Did you hear him congratulate me for getting that question? Actually, I sit on the MPO board, and our commissioners. I'm so glad you asked that while they're here because they can't talk about it, but they're all here. We need the strength of the vote on the MPO board. It has become a legislative priority from the MPO. It's on the TBARDA. It's on their list of priorities, that specific corridor. As you all know, there was a Central Manatee Network analysis, a study that's been ongoing. Somehow the wheels fall off of it every once in a while, but it is back hot and heavy. And in particular, I think it got expanded to a much bigger study. Now it has honed back in on that. I've had several meetings with them of late, and I'm sure probably the county commissioners have had that as well individually. But that has got to move forward. With 7th Street light needs to be turned on, but it does complicate that interchange just to the north of it because it's by FDOT standards, it's dysfunctional and obsolete. So that will exacerbate that problem even more. So, and I agree with Mayor Poston, anytime you have intersecting traffic to the volume that we do, it's a crisis. It is a true crisis. And, it's not a funny thing, but it's kind of tongue in cheek. You decide in Palmetto when you're going to have your heart attack, because you don't want to catch those hours. There's certain hours. You can wave at the hospital, but you can't get to it. So, they tell me that you're stabilized if you got in an ambulance, but I don't want to sit for 10 or 15 minutes on the bridge and be in that situation. I don't want other people there. It's just, something has to be done about it. We've all got to work together, and I do feel like the county commission is working with us. But we need to continually keep it on the forefront for the Florida Department of Transportation and work with our legislators in Tallahassee and see if we can't expedite that corridor. So don't hesitate to reach out to your state legislators. We would appreciate all the support we could get along those lines, the commissioners as well. I'm pretty sure I can speak for them on that part. Thank you for the question. That was a good one.
One last question?
Well, I got a better one for,
Okay. There we go.
it seems like every 4 years we have a conversation about the highest and best use of downtown property and the city offices being on the beautiful waterfront. Is there any chance that might change in the future, near future?
We're obviously looking at that, and we've had that thing. Building's been for sale ever since I came into office. What people forget is that building's 20 years old. The value of it is half of what it was when we built it. So that's a consideration. If the city sells it, where do we go? I've got a police department and I've got a city hall that has to go somewhere else. In these construction times, at the cost of construction, I don't know how to make those numbers work. I'm being perfectly honest. I agreed with you 17 years ago. I was 100% same question you did. But we're not seeing it yet. I know the market is not there now. We have had recent discussions with some people who wanted to buy the site and we know what they want to pay for it. It's not as much as I think our city council may think it's worth or we have to get out of it. So that's a different conversation. And thank you for having us both here, but don't forget, we're the 10th fastest growing SMSA in the country. Bradenton area, Palmetto, Manatee County, Sarasota, City of Sarasota. 10th fastest. 20,000 people moved here last year in that SMSA. So
Could we
sort
do
of sobering if you're in government, isn't it?
Don't leave, because I just want to ask one thing while Mayor Poston is up here with me. No, it's something that it's very serious for both of us. Legislation that's currently in Tallahassee regarding CRAs. And there's a lot of misinformation on that. It's important to both City of Bradenton, City of Palmetto. And we would ask you, if you have questions about CRAs or don't understand them, they're critical for both cities. And if they make the changes that they would like to make, it's not a tax savings. It will penalize the municipalities. And I would just ask you to reach out to your legislators and support the CRAs and ask them to turn that bill down.
If we hadn't had the CRAs, if we would have been operating under the bill that's proposed in the legislature, we would not have the Riverwalk, we would not have Realize Bradenton, we would not be undertaking a new streetscaping. Those things would be gone because they limit what you can spend on different projects. Dade County and Broward County are bad actors, and they're trying to say one size fits all in this thing, which the legislature is prone to do. We should not be penalized in Bradenton or Palmetto for bad actors on the East Coast.
We've made every... I know there's some stumble occasionally. We're doing the very best job we can do in Palmetto. At this point, I believe we have 6 certified Redevelopment Association members. We've gone through all the training with the Florida Redevelopment Association. We have 6 and probably 2 more to come on board shortly. We're learning the statute. We're operating with the statute. We're making every effort to comply. And I know, as Mayor Poston pointed out, some have acted poorly. But don't throw away the baby with the bathwater. It will punish a lot of really good projects, and it'll make them fall off the radar screen. So I'd have to echo what Mayor Poston said. There would be a lot of projects in Palmetto that would not have occurred. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
What a great treat, huh? That's so nice to be able to enjoy both of them. So again, we would like to thank the Kaiser University and Mosaic Company for sponsoring the event this afternoon. And we got to take this time for a little advertisement because we like to do that with the chamber. So there's several things in the back table as you're exiting. If you could please take a look at it. There's all chamber members are invited on April 22nd. It's the Manatee Chamber. We have a cookout at the chamber. It's a nice event. It's an event that Bob Bart's a good friend of mine. He hosted this. He really enjoyed having this. We had to postpone it, but we are going to kick it off April 22nd from 11 to 1. So we encourage everyone to be there. We'd love to have you there. So there's one of these cards in the back. We also have Blues on the Bay that is coming up, and that's coming up on April 12th. So that's also in the back, if you could take a look at that. And then the last thing is we have Project Teach that is also coming up. It's a great way for you to get involved with our local schools. That's Friday, May 19th. If you get a chance, pick up a flyer and do that. So with that, again, we'd like to thank both Mayor Poston and Mayor Bryant for coming and speaking to us and giving us an update in our community. And thank you all for coming today. Thank you.